You are bored of TDS. You've done all the main game modes, you've gotten to level 250, you've played hundreds and thousands of matches, and you're just about pretty much done with the game. You don't enjoy playing TDS anymore. But don't fear, because this weirdo, hyperfixated geek has just researched scientifically and just logically on how to enjoy TDS again. By the end of this video, you will be ready to open up TDS and start having some fun again. But to start this, we're gonna have to turn this into a question so we can have a better view on what exactly to begin with. So let's switch this into a question of why you get bored of TDS. Oh no, I just triggered the intro. Stop. There are many aspects to why people seem always so bored of TDS, so let's start by getting the behemoth that is the meta out of the way. The meta is basically what is the most optimal strategy for whatever you're doing. In this case, it being TDS. You probably follow the meta because you're obviously a devoted fan who's poured dozens if not hundreds of hours into this Roblox game. However, the meta is actually working against you here. If you solely follow the meta with everything you do, the game is just gonna get easy and you won't really have to use any of your brain power in strategizing. Not to mention how strategies are just optimized to make the game a cakewalk. If you're trying to beat hardcore for the first time, that's exactly what you want. But if you've beaten it 12 times before, it's just gonna get repetitive and boring when you always feel so dauntless from the same strat that wins you the game every time. That's why you should make your own strategies instead of using other people's stuff. That'll get you through some trial and error, but it'll also be rewarding and challenging. And challenges segue perfectly into my next point. You should advocate for yourself by making challenges to do. Not for any reward, just out of your own volition. But this may seem weird and useless, but you've obviously beaten the game already, so there's literally no point doing anything for a reward. I mean, come on, I know you have like 100k coins just sitting there running in your inventory. And I know that playing the game without any meta or valuable in-game rewards may seem a little draconian, and you'll just have to bear with me here. Now, I've been talking a lot about variety. No, not you, your clap has not come yet. I've been talking a lot about variety, so let's stray away from it and go a bit more into mentality. This is the research part. Romix the Vsauce 1 is in. Your brain loves to mess with you in many ways, and I'll go over it in future videos. But the most important way it tricks you in this case is by absolutely hating work. If something is labeled as something you need to do, then you won't want to do it. But if you enjoy doing something and you do it for fun, then wowza, you want to do it for now. Except if you're me. I was typing myself up to write this until it took me like a week to start the script, and now I'm writing 2 hours off schedule because I got distracted by some Zelda Ocarina of Time gameplay, and now I'm building a GD level and watching a bunch of Nintendo game videos. This is related, I promise, because the truth is, you need to listen to your brain and not do work. And what is work to you? Enjoying TDS. Now, I'm not saying not to do work in general. I'm just saying that in this case, since you're classifying work as TDS, that should not be the case. Look, you're actively grinding and forcing yourself to try and enjoy the game instead of just accepting that you don't want to play the game and just playing something different. In the article, The Real Reason Why You Hate Working, written by Andre Griggs, please say I said that right. He goes over multiple things like whether you focus on the positive or negative, which is totally for another time also. But the main thing that applies to TDS the most for sure is, are you not doing what you truly love? Which is super impactful, I'm sure, for many TDS players. Now, this article is not made for TDS in any way, however, the thought process is the same when looking at the points. And the snippet I wanted to quote from that really fit despite it being about real-life jobs was, the equation to go from I hate working to I love working is based on doing things you love and less things you hate. If you don't enjoy doing TDS enough to the point that you watched this video, then truth is you should just stop. But you obviously don't want to stop, so let's assume that you're crazy and ignore the moral I just gave you and just continue looking at stuff that you need to do to start enjoying the game again. This time from an even deeper perspective. Stuff you probably didn't pay attention to in science. Which is why I'm going to make sure your inattentive brain can follow along with it. To start from a more scientifically oriented perspective, turns out enjoying something does not always mean you'll be motivated to it. I love editing, but oftentimes I feel like I don't want to do it, even though I know I love to edit, and I've done it for so many years. Motivation doesn't just come from things you like. Additionally, motivation doesn't last if you're not learning and conquering different things. So you won't feel motivated to keep playing if you're always doing the same thing on repeat. Now, neurological disorders like ADHD can mess with this, but we're just assuming that you're neurotypical. What we can take away from this is that you'll need something that can trigger motivation. So how exactly do we get motivation to play TDS? Well, courtesy to how to keep working when you're just not feeling it, by Ayelet Fishbach. I am so sorry if I ruined that name. The article on work, which, once again, please just listen to the moral and leave. Please don't actually leave. States that you should set goals with a certain mentality. Not just a mentality of trying your best to get to level 400, but instead a mentality of like, to get to level 400 by the end of the month. That will have a better chance to give you motivation for the game you really want to enjoy. How depressing. Anyways, oh come on! Dang, since when did Jerry have his own mountain? Ah! I don't know, I just don't want to die. That part isn't important. Anyways, to conclude this mess of a video, I'll just summarize what we went over. Essentially, if you want a good moral, the correct answer should be that you should just simply play different games. You shouldn't feel stuck to a single game or feel any reason to have to stick to anything you don't like. However, scientifically, you should create definitive goals, make challenges for yourself, stray away from the meta, and figure out hurdles yourself and be able to make an 8-minute video without taking a month. Wait, where am I going? No, 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 no! How did I do, Minty?
Bueno, creo que usted no tuvo mucho que ver en esto. Sigues tan débil como antes y solo puedo darte fuerzas durante un tiempo. Necesitas ser entrenado para ser fuerte sin ninguna ayuda externa. Me temo que tendré que deshacerme de tus poderes y entrenarte de forma natural.
If you insist.